One of the most exciting parts of Huawei's MWC 2020 launch was the grand reveal of its next supercharged weapon for taking on the might of Apple. This right here is the Huawei MatePad Pro 5G, a premium tablet convertible boasting sleek design, incredible smarts, and as the name kind of already spoiled, full 5G connectivity. I had a chance to have a proper play with this serious iPad rival at a Huawei briefing ahead of the official launch, and here is my full hands-on review of the MatePad Pro 5G. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, the MatePad definitely feels as premium as those Apple alternatives with a similar magnesium alloy frame. The MatePad Pro 5G is certainly light considering its size, but it also seems to be pretty durable, so you can hopefully chuck it in your backpack and not have to worry about those shiny surfaces being all scratched up. And all of the antennae are completely hidden away as well, so there's no unsightly lines to break up that neat and tidy aesthetics. And you get a pleasingly curved edging as well, which travels around the entire circumference for a comfy clutch no matter how you're actually holding the tab. And the MatePad Pro 5G comes with a choice of 4 different colors, which I can't remember off the top of my head because I've had a lot of specs rattling up in there with all these various MWC pre-briefs and not enough coffee, so I'm just going to read them off my phone. Apologies. So the metallic style model can be snagged in either midnight grey or pearl white, while a forest green and an afterglow orange version will be available with a vegan leather finish. Very snazzy. And one of the definite highlights of Huawei's tab is that 10.8-inch display, which covers a whopping 9/10 of the front surface. Those bezels are super skinny at under 5mm on all sides, and you get a hole punch camera rather than a full-on notch for minimal intrusion. And the MatePad Pro 5G seems pretty handy at working out when your fingers and palm fat accidentally stray onto that display as well because of those skinny bezels. I'd say the mistouch detection wasn't quite perfect in my hands-on session, but it did seem to work more often than not. The screen itself sports a 16:10 aspect ratio, which is ideal for working on apps and especially a bit of side-by-side multitasking too. You get a 2560x1600 resolution, which delivers a nice and crisp 280 pixels per inch. So those visuals are slightly more sharp than the iPad Pro, although to be honest there doesn't really seem much in it at all. And as it hits 540 nits on that maximum brightness as well, the MatePad Pro 5G's display is definitely powerful enough to use even in bright sunshiny conditions. Not that we're going to have to worry about that anytime soon here in London. Plus the display is DCI-P3 color graded for accurate output. Definitely good news if you want to get creative. And speaking of getting creative, Huawei is offering its new M Pencil stylus as an optional accessory. This features a nice fine nib for detailed sketching, as ably shown off here by my intense artistic talents. And when you're done, the M Pencil sticks magnetically to the edge of the MatePad and charges wirelessly at the same time. For 1 hour's charge, you'll get a whopping 10 hours of play, while a swift 30 seconds charge gives you 10 minutes of use. And Huawei is also launching a smart magnetic keyboard for the MatePad Pro 5G, which looks and feels pretty similar to that iPad Pro board. And this slaps on neatly and feels very secure when it's in place, and once again it charges wirelessly, no worries. And on the audio front, you get a beefy quad stereo speaker set up here on the MatePad Pro 5G with a bit of Harman Kardon audio tuning as well, the usual guff. And basically it sounds good on top volume and it'll easily cut through any background bullshit. It's probably not a massive shock as well to discover that Huawei's 7nm Kirin 990 5G flagship platform is what powers the Pro, including that DaVinci neural processing unit for a bit of AI smarts when required. In my hands-on session, the MatePad Pro 5G ran as smoothly as a buttered-up Barry White, as you would kind of expect. And you've got a bit of 3D cooling tech in there as well to keep your mitts from getting toasty when you're playing with the thing non-stop. And again, hands-on session had permanent screen on time and it was absolutely fine. And yes, as we've already covered, there is a bit of 5G support as well for staying connected on the go. And Huawei has also managed to stuff a meaty 7,250 mAh battery inside of this tablet, supporting 27 watt super wireless charging and 7.5 watt reverse wireless charging for all of your accessories, and if you're a bit desperate, your phone as well. And unfortunately, one area where Apple's iPad undoubtedly has the advantage over Huawei's MatePad is the app access, because you don't get any Google Play support here on the MatePad Pro 5G. You're relying on Huawei's app gallery and other third-party options like Amazon's App Store. And while these certainly offer a broad range of services and quite a lot of the most popular apps here in Blighty, unfortunately there are quite problematic gaps, and I'm confident that Huawei will sort it out sooner rather than later, but just bear in mind for the time being there will be some workarounds required to get the likes of Netflix and YouTube on there. Still, the software experience is definitely smooth and feature packed here on the MatePad Pro 5G. You can play around with up to 2 apps at once in split screen side-by-side mode, or 3 as well using a floating window. Or alternatively, you've got Huawei's app multiplier mode, which allows you to use the same app in that side-by-side format as well, so you can access different functions at once. Apparently over 1,000 apps now support this feature, including the likes of Booking.com. We didn't manage to get a full list of supported apps out of Huawei, but hopefully that list should be growing exponentially in no time at all. And of course, you've got the same multi-screen collaboration feature from the MateBook laptops as well. So basically you can pair up with your Huawei smartphone and throw that smartphone screen onto the tablet's display, which then means you can quickly copy files from one device to the other and use your phone apps on your tablet too. So that's my initial hands-on impressions of the Huawei MatePad Pro 5G. Definitely a serious iPad baiting device indeed. But what are your own personal thoughts? It'd be great to hear them. Slap them down in the comments below. And when I have the full pricing and release date information here in the UK for that Huawei device, I will let you know in the description or via a pinned comment. Please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers. Love you.